guys, my name is Kira and I'm a professional makeup artist in LA, and today I'm going to be showing you just how to get this natural, glowy, bronzy, everyday look that is super simple and super easy, and you know, if you get some practice at it, you can do it in like 10-15 minutes. So if you'd like to see how to do this, please keep watching. Alright, so I'm first going to start out with the prepping and priming. You should have already washed your face and done whatever skin routine you have by this point. And if you have oily skin like me, I just patted out my oil with a blotting tissue. I'm first just going to use a chapstick. This is absolutely my favorite. This is the Chapstick Total Hydration. This is the Sweet Peach. It really is total hydration, and this is just going to prep my lips for later. I'm going to use my Cinema Secrets Ultimate Foundation Primer. I just need a tiny bit to cover my whole face, and just rubbing that in wherever I'm going to be putting product. At this point, I'm also going to be priming my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden. I love doing it in this shade because it has coverage to cover like the eye veinage and stuff like that. And I'm just going to blend that in with my finger. So normally at this stage I would go ahead and do some color correcting or go ahead and put on a full coverage foundation, but because this is an everyday look and I do have oily skin myself, I don't want anything that's going to be heavy or cake up over the day, so I do just like to use some concealer and powder. If you do have dry skin or whatever, any other skin type than oily, I would still suggest going with a light to medium coverage foundation, unless you prefer full coverage foundations. That's just what I like to do for my skin type. For concealer today, I'm going to be using the NYX Gotcha Covered. This is a super full coverage waterproof concealer, but it doesn't cake up on me, and it's actually really light, at least for me. This is in the shade Light. Because this is so full coverage, you only need a tiny bit. So I'm just going to apply it to my under eyes with a concealer brush by Cinema Secrets. I'm putting this over any redness or imperfections as well, just because the powder isn't going to give me any type of coverage. It's just going to make my skin look smoother, if you know what I mean. Putting this above my lip, on my chin, and a little bit on my forehead just to highlight. I'm of course going to blend that all in with a damp beauty blender. I am going to set that concealer separately from the rest of my face, and I'm going to use this little, it's a little beauty blender type thing, but it's by Sephora and it's a little bit denser and smaller, so I like using it to set the under eyes, and I'm going to set it with Milani's Prep Set and Go. When setting your eyes, you should feel a bit of a tightening under there, and that's how you know that it's working. It's like almost adhering it to your skin so that it doesn't move around all day. While that is setting, I'm going to use my favorite MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and this is in the shade Light. I'm going to be taking a little NYX Kabuki brush today, just to kind of, I like stippling in the foundation, or powder, I should say, just because it doesn't really mix, especially on top of a different foundation. It doesn't mix the creams and powders together, which makes you look cakey. Then also with the Kabuki brush, I'm just going to dust away all the excess powder underneath my eyes or wherever it may be. I do like bronzing on an everyday basis, maybe not like kind of instead of a contour, just to give a little bit more definition to the face as well as warmth. Sometimes I will do a little bit of a contour along with it, a powder contour for me at least, just to give a little bit more definition, but that's all based on personal preference. So I'm going to be taking this NYX, it's kind of like a stippling brush, it's the 08 brush, and I'm going to be taking this Physicians Formula bronzer. I think it's the Argan Wear bronzer. So I'm just going to be taking that on this and kind of stippling that on. I really like stippling powders just because it gives the most flawless finish rather than doing it in circular motions, because that allows for some patchiness sometimes. Now that I am all bronzed up, I'm going to go in with my favorite blush for everyday. This is Milani Luminoso. It's just a beautiful, illuminating peach color that is really perfect for any skin tone. And I'm going to be taking that using this stippling Morphe brush. Again, with the stippling, that's just my favorite. It makes everything flawless and less cakey. Now that I am glowing and fresh-faced, it's time to move on to the eyes. I am going to be using this La Palette Nude. This is a L'Oreal palette, and it just gives a nice, cool-toned, smoky look, or you can do something very natural with it. Of course, because this is an everyday look, I am going to be going on the more natural side. I do have more of a pinky undertone, so I do like to do more cool-toned looks rather than warm-toned, but that's all based on your personal preference, whether you like more warm-tone makeups or cool-tone makeups, also based on your skin undertone. First, just to set that primer that we used, I'm going to be using this kind of pinky whitish shade. It is the brightest palette. It is the brightest shade in the palette and is also matte, which I prefer for setting any type of primer. I'm going to be taking this nudie grayish tone right here, and I am just going to start blending that into the crease a little bit, just using a very light hand and windshield wiper motions. These shadows are surprisingly pigmented for the price, so just be careful. You can leave it here. I just want to add a little bit more definition to my crease, so I'm going to be taking this crease brush by Morphe, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this matte brownie shade right here into my outer corners. It is, again, a cool toned brown rather than the warm tone brown that, the warm tone brown that they have like right here. And I'm just going to be putting that, pigment, into my outer corners and then blending them into the crease, just for a little bit more definition. I am going to be taking this light shimmer shade right here to highlight my brow bone and my inner corners. And I'm going to take that on this kind of fluffy brush. I am going to be taking this really small definer brush by Morphe, and I'm going to use that first kind of grayish shade that we used, and I'm going to just drag that in my lower lash line. That brush did put a lot of pigment, so I'm just going to blend it out a little bit with that same crease brush. I cannot say crease. Again, you could leave it like this, or you could put on a little bit of winged eyeliner. I'm just going to leave it like this today, just for the sake of being a little bit more natural. I'm going to go ahead and put some mascara on, and I'm going to be using my Maybelline Lash Sensational and the Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt by L'Oreal. Now that we have the eyes done, I usually like to move on to the eyebrows just because I really enjoy eyebrow definition. It just makes my face shape, it just enhances my face shape so much. If you already have really dark eyebrows, you may not need to do this, but I just like doing it. So I'm going to take my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. This is in the shade Ash Brown, and I'm going to be using this Milani little brow brush. It's my favorite. It's it's so amazing, this little tip right here, and it comes with a spoolie as well on the end. And I'm going to be very lightly feathering that through my eyebrows. I don't want one of those like Instagram brows just because they're so dramatic, and we are going for a more natural look here, and it is a little bit hard to go natural with the Dip Brow Pomade, but I will try. Last but not least, I am going to be doing the lips with NYX's Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Cans? I don't know. It's one of those, and this is just a very pretty pink. I love this color because it could be used for both night or day. It just has that variety, you know? And this, guys, is the final look. This is kind of like the style that I personally like to wear on an everyday basis. So I hope you all liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Also, just to let you know, I do have my own channel if you'd like to check out similar videos, and that is called Enhanced Makeup. So again, thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of this, and I will see you next time. Bye!